and I don't know if this is the right word, Duke, Tennessee, North Carolina State, a lot of toughness, grit, if that's fair. Have you learned anything about this team maybe that you didn't expect, or have you seen anything from this team maybe that you didn't expect so far?
Well, I didn't expect Melvin to go off like that. That was, I mean, he was great. I don't know if there's anything that I didn't expect. I think potentially we can become a good defensive team. I think our first shot defense has been well above average, but can get a lot better. I think offensively we play ridiculously slow, and I didn't anticipate that at all. And we're not an execution team, so if you're not an execution team, then at least play with pace and do some things that we got to get better at. And when I say we're not yet. I take away Saturday's game as a game in which we won many times over the years and left out of there relieved but not very happy. So that's kind of how I see that.
Bill, Darryn left early in the game. How's he doing now? What's his outlook for tomorrow?
I have no idea. I don't know. We didn't practice yesterday. I just saw him in the hallway, and he's going to lift right now with the guys, and so we'll practice later. But obviously he had some not hamstring, based on what I was told, but some quad cramping. There, which to me, you guys saw the game, was evident that he wasn't moving at the pace that he's got to move at, the way people are going to guard him and that stuff. So it was obviously bothering him.
Okay, and with the semester break, I guess, are you guys planning on adding anyone after the semester, or having anyone enroll early or anything like that?
As of today, no. I don't want to say never, because in today's world, there could be something that could fall in your lap or out of the sky that may be attractive. But I would say right now, not planning on that.
When Darryn leaves a game like that, at that point in the game, how much are you thinking about him exiting, and how much does your mind quickly shift to, this is how the team has to operate now that he's leaving?
I hate to say this, because this doesn't mean to sound negative at all, but it automatically shifts to what we need to do next. You know, if a player, and you can say any player, you don't have to say one in particular, but if a player was seriously injured or whatever, you would think so. But you know, with the cramping stuff, it just moves on to the next to the next phase.
When you mentioned the offense playing slower than you would like,
terribly slow.
Is there anything that you try to do in practice?
Yeah. We tried our ball and body movement, our cutting, our spacing, our screening. We're the ball sticks. There's a lot of things that we can try to do better. The time in which I felt like we have moved the ball the best this year was against Tennessee, and against a really good team that could really guard. We haven't done that, in my opinion, since then. So we've got to address that, and you know, don't take that as me being negative, although I'm not very pleased, but we staff, we got to do a better job of getting our guys to understand what works with us. You know, we don't have a team full of one-on-one guys. When Darryn's out there, he can hold it, can stick, and he can get his own. Everybody else has got to be a ball mover, a shooter, or a passer immediately, or a screener. You can't be a stander, and we've got way too much of that going on, and we got to get better at that. And there's a lot of teams out there that got to get better at something, but that's the thing that stands out to me more than anything else.
After watching the tape, what did Melvin do that was different from his three-point game in other games? He almost doubled his season production in one game. What did you see on tape?
Well, they dared him to shoot. You know, obviously they dared him to shoot, and they went under everything. And the best thing that he did was he shot it. You know, if he goes 3 for 8 from 3, uncontested, Well, technically, that means 5 shots or a long shot, long rebounds, a better percentage, even though we haven't done it like we're capable of offensive rebounding long 3 misses than there is probably short 2 misses. Then you have a situation, 3 for 8 is what, 37%? And 37% effective field goal percentage is what, 55%, which is, something like that would rank out 54%, something like that would rank out very high. So even 3 for 8 is not bad or end of the world. So I thought the best thing that he did was take them, and then after he made a couple, he started feeling it. But those shots that he made in the second half, those weren't hesitant shots. Those were shots out of necessity that he shot without thinking, and it just goes to show you he can become a pretty good shooter if he plays without thinking about it. And he certainly was reactive the other day.
Are you surprised or pleased that he can play so many minutes? Did you expect Melvin to be able to do that?
I didn't have an idea if he was a 32 or a 35 or a 37. But the one thing about Melvin that is unique, and I think we've only had a couple of guys like that ever, he can play all day. He doesn't get tired. And the one that comes to mind more than anybody was Brandon Rush. Never sat down in the timeout. I mean, he was never tired. And I think Melvin has that same type of tank that just doesn't seem to run out.
Bill, obviously you talked about playing more fast. Do you think the best version of this team on offense, even with Darryn playing, is a version that plays transition basketball and plays more fast versus half-court offense more often?
I think that against good teams, you have to play half-court offense because you're not going to get much in transition. The better, the deeper the season goes at good teams. You think Houston's not going to get guys back? I mean, so we got to be able to run half-court offense. Opportunistic is you want to push it every time, and then just like Melvin, he pushed it the time and threw the ball to Mari, we get an uncontested layup just by him just pushing it. We need to get guys to play and run with him. So you need to have a combination of both, but I think I misstated if that's what we meant. Playing fast does not necessarily mean shooting fast. Playing fast is a pace that you play with, and there just hasn't been that pace.
Coach, apologies if it could be a total non sequitur, but I'm curious.
First of all, you're going to have to give the definition of the words you're going to use in the press conference.
One may not follow after the other.
Okay. I'm joking.
The success that Oklahoma City's having with a really rugged and aggressive team defense, does that present any opportunity for coaches at the college level to get buy-in from the guys on getting enthusiastic about a really rugged team defense could be a real actual weapon for a team?
It's a great question. Because I've thought about this a lot. I've actually texted Sam this the other day. What Oklahoma City has done has been good for our sport and our game because of the way that they play. But I wasn't necessarily talking about offensively or defensively. I was talking about how everybody takes credit in the good and how nobody points a finger in the bad. How they don't do an interview unless the entire team is there. Shea doesn't do it on his own. How Shea, who's the MVP, wasn't he MVP of the league last year? How his commercials include his teammates. You can't tell me that doesn't bring team unity together. That is the culture that I would be talking about more so than X's and O's, because if you have that culture, then naturally the other stuff will come a lot easier. Guys buying into the roles, 3 all-stars being the biggest cheerleaders in a blowout game in which the reserves get a chance to score points. I mean, those are the things to me that add to culture as much as anything. So that is what's special. Now, are they good defensively? Yes. Are they good offensively? Yes. Do they share the ball? Yes. Do they play where they like each other? Yes. There's a lot of yeses, but it all comes down to the youthful exuberance they seem to have playing with each other as much as anything.
Going back,
From my outside perspective, not being there one day.
going back to Saturday with Flory and Bryson, what did you think about the way they played, and what are the controllable things they can do to maybe be more consistent throughout the course of a game?
Guys, without being totally truthful, you take Melvin out of the equation, and who could you turn to say, you know what, they really had a nice game the other day? And a lot of it's not individual. A lot of it is, what are we doing to help the other person and that kind of stuff? And it wasn't very good. But Melvin was so good that covered up a lot of those things. Bigs play big. Bigs be active. You know, I like our guys. I think individually we're talented, but do we really offensive rebound the ball like we're capable if we're going to play three bigs? There's a lot of things that we can do better, and I think we can certainly play faster. So those are the things that I left out of there thinking that we have to get better at. But I was also relieved as we left out of there. So.
And I want to just clarify with Darryn, it was a quad cramping issue, not an aggravation of the hamstring, to your knowledge.
I have not heard the word hamstring one time.
Okay, thanks.
So that's coming from our medical staff. You know, there's the thing that you know, it's got to get addressed, and it hasn't obviously yet. But and I know it's so frustrating for him because he gets out there and he can't move. And then when you can't move like you're normally moving, then you become cautious to try to move. And we've got to figure that out. And we certainly haven't done it yet.
Any thoughts on Towson and some of the, I don't know, maybe problems they present tomorrow night?
I think they're good. I think they play really hard and extremely active. They can shoot it from 4 spots. I think they got a nice team, and we're going to have to, you know, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's game. Hopefully we'll come out and play with the passion and the energy and the pace that good teams play with. Hang on a second, guys. Is that me? Sorry about that, guys.
With the students gone, is this a critical stretch to win 2 and go 10-3? Would you consider that a major victory for the non-con season?
Yeah, I'm not sure with the students being gone, how that ties in together. Are you talking about from a fan standpoint? Yeah. I think we'll certainly do enough to fill those student seats in some way, shape, or form. But to your point, though, Gary, when Darryn was missing 7 games and we played 8 games in 7 straight against, you know, high major competition and all that stuff, I think if we could get to the number you said, you would think, okay, we survived the preseason. Yeah, it's important for us to finish strong this last week.
Did they do something to take away Trey's ability to draw inside fouls? I know you don't want to comment on the officiating probably, but
I thought that the ball stuck. I thought he tried to drive gaps that weren't there. We talked about it. So you know, Trey's 0 for 6 from 3, and he's been shooting 40-something%. So, you know, if he goes 2 for 6, we're not even having the conversation. But I do think that he can do a better job of ball and body movement like everybody else. Because I did think the ball stuck. You back it out, and then you try to drive a gap that's loaded. That makes it hard to play. And he can do better at that.
All right, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.